what went wrong? Let's just be honest that Denmark were way better.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Gulf News, kicking back a chat show all about football. I'm Imran and I'm joined by Matt, Shamsir and Sahil's back on the show. Welcome back. Okay, let's get stuck in. Wales have been eliminated from Euro 2020. They were thrashed 4-0 by Denmark last night. Kasper Dolberg curled in a fabulous opener from the outside of the box and then struck early in the second half. There was a mistake from Williams at the back. And then Marler and Braithwaite added the third and fourth, but really it looked like game over for Wales after they conceded the first goal. It just it seemed to deflate them. So Hill, I know you like Wales, so let's start with you. What went wrong yesterday?
I mean, what went wrong? Let's just be honest that Denmark were way better, and Wales were just poor there. Like I was watching the game from the plane, Wales were not looking in the game at all, And Denmark, they just came out fighting, It was like a neutral stadium also. They were playing in Amsterdam. So it's not a home or away fans. But they were better. Like the last match, they scored 4. This match, they scored 4. They've come out fighting. They've come out fighting for their nation. They're winning it for Christian Eriksen. So let's just be honest. They just thrashed Wales and Wales were nowhere near them. So, and the red card was in the icing on the cake for Wales after Harry Wilson was sent off. So Wales were just poor today, and they don't deserve to go through.
Yeah, I think they found their level. We talked about Denmark yesterday and how they really seem to have clicked. Not just for Eriksen, as we said, emotion gets you so far, but they're really playing as a proper unit. That first goal just really took the wind out of them. It was an absolute classic, a brilliant goal. Curled right in the inside of the post. The goalkeeper had no chance, but I think the key is what they worked out is if they pulled Aaron Ramsey out of position and lured him onto the left hand side as Denmark were attacking, it just opened up all the space and they could just run riot, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, for Dolberg, at least, it felt like home for him because he's a former Ajax player. So it was their stadium, the Johan Cruyff Arena, is well known for him. So he played like it was his home country. It was brilliant for him, and especially he was nowhere near the starting 11 for the last 3 games. It was Yusuf Poulsen's injury. Made him to come into the starting 11, and what an impact he had. What a brilliant goal he scored for the first one, and the second one was a bit lucky, but still he had to be there in the position to score that goal. But you have to give credit to the Denmark manager. Kasper Hjulmand have been absolutely incredible because Wales started that game pretty well. They had the lion's share of possession, they had the number of shots. In the first 15 minutes, it was all about Wales. Then Kasper Hjulmand identified the problem with the midfield. They were getting overloaded by the Welsh players. Then after a while, he moved Andreas Christensen from the defense to the midfield. So he changed his formation from 3 at the back to the 4 at the back, and he made Christensen another defensive midfielder. That gave them the control in that game. Then ever since that, they look like a different side. And once Simon Kjær got injured, then Andreas Christensen moved back to the RCB role, the centre back role, and it was all over by then. The credit has to be given to the manager for making those kind of tactical changes, which Rob Page couldn't even sniff.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, we saw definitely the Denmark coach making those changes. Rob Page showing maybe his lack of experience at the top level there. But they did start well. Wales had a couple of chances, Gareth Bale. But it just on Bale's interesting. At the end of the game, during the interview, he walked away when he was asked if that was his last match for Wales. Now, is he going to retire or not? We're gonna have to wait and see. But can he still affect games? That's probably the real question here, isn't it?
I think he can affect games if he's got the quality around him. I think that he's obviously slightly disillusioned right now, and obviously it was a very raw time for him, and he didn't want to say anything out of turn. So that's probably why he wanted to just go down the no comment line. Rather than say something in the heat of the moment, he'll either have to apologise for or, force his hand if he was to say something like, yeah, I'm done. and then it might make his mind up for him. You know, the World Cup's not far away now because it's 2021 already. So it's only another year or so before he'll be starting to, hopefully if Wales get there, and he could definitely affect things for the Wales team. But how far he can carry the Wales team is a different matter. He would be a massive loss for them there. There's no doubt about that. But it all depends on whether he's in the right frame of mind to carry on, or whether he wants to focus on missing out on trophies with Tottenham.
No wonder I saw Gareth Bale walking off. He has been swamped with that particular question after every game in the group stages. So he'll make his decision and he'll let us know. So we don't need to ask him that question every time. So, but yeah, whether he can affect the game, he can. He has shown that against Turkey. But he needs help. You can't just carry the team just like that. He needs help. After the first 15 minutes. Especially all the big players were missing for Wales. Even Ramsey was anonymous. They just couldn't cope with the tactical change Denmark made in between. So I think Gareth, if Gareth Bale affect games, he can still, but can he carry the whole country? I don't think so.
It's been almost 30 years that Denmark won the European Championship for the first time. There's a lot of similarities to the team that won it in '92 with the current crop of the players. For starters, you've got Peter Schmeichel's son, Kasper, in goal. Then you've got a pretty strong spine. Back then they had Jensen in midfield, had Brian Laudrup up front. Now they've got, mentioned Christensen, they've got Barcelona's Braithwaite. Are they the dark horses again?
I don't think. No. I don't think we should get carried away. I mean, congrats to them for beating Wales 4-0, but I think they will lose the quarterfinals with whatever team comes. I think. I mean, yes, they won 4-0, but still, I think there are better teams than they're out here. So I don't think so. Denmark can go through after the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think that there's way too much strength still in those other teams that have still got it all to play for. None of the big guns are out yet. We'll get to Italy in a minute, they've done their nation proud, and they may get through to the semis, but they can't go all the way. I mean, We've seen Greece do the unimaginable, and obviously Denmark did it all that time ago in a tournament that they were actually invited to late on. They say things come in threes. It's not impossible, but I think it's fairly unlikely this time around.
Yeah, I don't think they can go all the way, but like what Matty mentioned, they can be a handful to any team that they're facing, especially against Czech Republic or Netherlands, whoever comes in for them in the quarterfinals, they'll give a real fight, and I think they can go through to the semifinals at the very least, because yes, they don't have big players, they don't have super talented youngsters and all these things, but they are playing as a team, and their manager knows a trick or two. And with that Christian Eriksen incident and everything, they have that extra motivation within them. So at least the semifinals, I think they can reach, even whether it is Dutch or the Czech. I think that they'll beat them in the quarterfinals.
Okay, well, their journey continues for now. Moving on, let's speak about the Italy game last night. They were given a real fright by Austria. Eventually, they came away 2-1 winners. They booked their place in the quarterfinals, but they were really made to work for that. They needed extra time to advance with goals from Chiesa and Pessina, two substitutes, in fact. It was a really good game, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed. I'd said 2-1 yesterday in the prediction, but I bet we're all wishing they could have done that. That you would got these 3 goals in 90 minutes, because it was a late night for all of us. But you just know the early game, no, that won't go to extra time. But the late game, of course it will. The quality that we saw from Italy was the fighting spirit again. They knew they were in a game. They've obviously had it fairly easy so far, but they were able to keep punching, and also the strength on that bench showed again as well, with two guys able to come off and get the vital goals. Austria got one back later on, but it wasn't enough, and Mancini was less than impressed with his team, but he knew that they'd done enough to get through. I mean, he was quite he's quite an amicable manager, but you can see that he was a little bit fuming underneath, because he knows they're a lot better than that, and I think they will be a lot better than that in the next round.
Yeah, it was a cracker of a game. We all loved it. This is the beauty of the knockout rounds. It can get to the extra times, though we don't want it to go to the extra times. But yeah, but it was incredible match to watch. And for Italy, they just showed this fighting spirit again. But you have to give credit to Austria, man. What a game they have given to the Italians. They never expected them to be so good. They were literally fighting in the middle of the pitch. They were being so physical. They were giving tough times to the Italian players, but they held on and they won the game. Man, the bench strength was absolutely immense for Italians. He could bring on Chiesas and Pessinas for who were the substitutes. Like they made the difference for them. But for Austria, I have to hand it down to them for giving us such an entertainment game. Arnautovic was this close to take Austria to the round of 60, maybe, to the quarterfinals, I'm saying. It was an incredible watch, man.
Sahil, what did you make of them?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it was a great game of football. And you just thought, like how Shamsher said, you just thought Arnautovic had scored. And when I was watching, I thought he was onside. I thought it was a goal. And when I was watching, because Italy had a few chances and the game was going on. But when one chance comes from the underdogs, they take it. That was that of a moment. And you just thought, oh, what a header by Alaba to assist also, right? But it's just so lucky.
Really
Felt sorry for them. Felt really sorry, because you know how Arnautovic is after celebrating. He kept his mouth.
Yeah. That's the VAR horror, isn't it? Like when you celebrate and you feel more deflated. It can almost feel like a goal against sometimes, because it really does take the wind out of your sails, and it really can deflate a team after that. And the what ifs are there, and you also feel a little bit silly after celebrating as well.
Yeah, you do.
But it's one of the nasty bits about this new VAR, and you also see the flip side of sometimes you don't know whether to celebrate or not, and it takes the fans out of it as well to a certain extent. But that's a conversation for another day, I think. It's a real shame for us, for Austria. They were again, they just showed a great fighting spirit.
But you saw how VAR was slow yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a reason for that. The Premier League referees were there. The English referees were handling the VAR team yesterday. Yeah. It was very slow.
I mean, look, in the end, they got to the right decision. It was really close, but we've seen a lot closer, given, not given. It was the right decision. It did slow the game down. It wasn't a goal. I mean, Austria was really unlucky. They battled away all night last night. You could see what the game plan was. It was to unsettle Italy with a physical approach, going hard early, put some tackles in. But I mean, this was Italy's first proper test. And they've come away, they found a way to score, after being pressed back like that. So that bodes really well for them going forward, doesn't it?
Exactly. They were stretched, they were tested, it's good for them, like they have got a proper test now, and they can make the necessary changes tactically or whatever. That could do well for them in the tournament. And they're waiting Belgium or Portugal in the next round. It's going to be fascinating again anyway.
Yeah, it's good reassuring for.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just it's very reassuring for Mancini to know that he's got those options off the bench, that he can have a plan B and a plan C if things are not going his way, and he may need that against both Belgium or Portugal. He'll obviously put out the strong team to start with, but he'll know that he'll have those options to change things up or change things around if he has to. Should they find themselves go behind, something that hasn't happened in the tournament yet. But he'll take a lot of confidence, and the team themselves will know that they've got the reassurance of these other options, and the teammates that have got each other's backs.
I was going to say, Matt, they finally did concede a goal. Kalacic got a brave header, stooped down low to get one finally, and that's the first one that they've conceded in 12 games. but they've set a new record, 31 games unbeaten. So it's going to take either Portugal or Belgium, whoever wins tonight. It's going to be a real effort to try and stop them, isn't it?
I think the only team which them is England. Kidding.
Yeah, there's a laugh all around happening when you say that.
You need to, if you want to beat Italy, you need to draft in Brazil and beat them on penalties.
Yeah,
let's talk about the next two games. We've mentioned it now already. Belgium against Portugal. Let's have some predictions. I think there's a lot more to come from Belgium. They've done well in the group stages. Obviously, they've won their 3 games. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Of course, all the games are going to be hard now. But I think they've got too much quality in that team. I'm going to go. They're going to edge it 1-0. I think. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think it might be more extra time on the cards, but I could see it being. I can see goals, so I think it maybe be 1-1 or 2-2, and then maybe Belgium edge it in extra time.
I think for Portugal, they have been tested properly in the group stages. They have played the likes of France and Germany, which will give them I think an edge over Belgium. But Belgium, as you have been saying, they have quality all around the pitch, and they have won all 3 games in the group games, and they are high on confidence, and they have big players like KDB, Eden Hazard, and Romelu Lukaku are all on sync. I think I want Belgium to go through, but I can't just write off Portugal with that guy, Cristiano Ronaldo. It has got like superstars all around, man. Two Serie A superstars, then 2 guys from Manchester clubs, 2 talismanic figures from Manchester clubs, like in Bruno Fernandes and KDB. It's going to be an emphatic, a blockbuster game. I'm just tipping Belgium to go through maybe in extra time.
Sahil, what do you think?
Man, I don't know. It's going to be a good game. Of course, I want Portugal to win, but yeah, Portugal will win. Come on, 1-0 Portugal. Give it away. Come on, Portugal.
Does Ronaldo get the record, Sahil?
Oh, good question.
There will be a penalty or 2.
No, I don't want to get the record. I want Bruno Fernandes to score this time.
But he's not going to give the penalty to Bruno anyway.
No way, yeah. Well, that record, he's taking all the free kicks, all the penalties, everything. All right, so
even the goal kicks.
All right, the other one is Netherlands against the Czech Republic. I think the Czech Republic are missing their captain, Darida, for this one. But with the attacking threat that Netherlands have got, they've got Depay, they've got Wijnaldum playing that nice attacking role. I think they'll have too much. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Netherlands win. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but the Czechs even missed their training yesterday because they had they had a mishap with their plane. One of our planes is missing. They seem to have had not the ideal preparation for this game, and as the Dutch have unearthed a few gems in this tournament as well as the established players, they seem to have a bit of a vibe about them. I'll say the pretty comfortable 3-0 victory. I think the Czechs have had their day. And also they beat Scotland, so don't like.
For Netherlands, they Frank de Boer's Netherlands have been absolutely brilliant. I thought they'll be struggling in this tournament, but in the group stages they have shown they have the capability to score goals from all around the pitch. And Wijnaldum has been one of the players of the tournament so far. He has been absolutely incredible for Dutch. And yes, the problem for Czech is about scoring goals. Patrick Schick has scored all the 3 goals for them in this tournament, and Schick has got only like 1 shot on target in the last 2 games. I don't know. Czech Republic might win this game by 1-0. I have to say this, but on all honesty, it is going to be the Dutch win. I'm sure.
I'm gonna go for a 3-0 Dutch victory. Come on, look at that.
I just want to be different.
Come on, look at the Dutch midfield. That's like one of the best midfields in the Euros.
Yeah. Could be a lot of goals.
Cash them.
There'll be a lot of goals, and I think we might even see some extra time and penalties today. That will mean very late nights for us. They're going to finish around about 2 a.m. if it goes that far. So we'll see. All right, that's all from us now. Remember to head to gulfnews.com for all the latest news. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.